Today marks 1220th day sharing lessons I learn and continue to learn with all of you. My hope that these insights will inspire you, support your dreams, help you achieve your goals, and really empower you to become the person that you want to become. And if you want to become the person that you want to become, what do you need to do? You need to ask, okay, how do I build my internal world? Because I truly believe that your external world, in one way or another, will align with your internal world. That's why so many people who actually succeed in lottery and win a lot of money, they go broke very, very fast because the external world doesn't align with their internal world. I think that's the main reason why they go broke again. There was a stats that 90% of the lottery winners going back to be broke as before. So today I want to speak about those internal things that is stopping us, sabotaging us from really pursuing something meaningful, something that the things that we actually want. We want to pursue something meaningful, but those internal things that we do not take care of is stopping us from achieving great goals. And I think that one thing is very, very often what I see, including myself, is that we're pressing that gas pedal as much as we can. We're pushing so hard, but because we're pressing that pedal, that brake pedal at the same time, we're not moving anywhere because we constantly pressing that the brake pedal. And what is that? Those internal battles that we need to fight. And sometimes it's just really being able, not just moving forward and focusing on those external things. Sometimes it's really making sure that we focus on those internal things as well. Because when we really remove that foot from that brake, it's so much easier to really move forward. So much easier when you're actually able to really put that leg and feet on the gas pedal and move forward. That's why so many people with exactly same actions move so much faster because they don't press the brake pedal. So what are the brake pedal? Brake pedal is this internal world that is inside that is stopping us. And you're able to share multiple things, 10 things that might be stopping you from moving forward. So sometimes we're able to ask, okay, so I'm doing everything right with actions, with execution, but for some reason I don't have results. So maybe now we're not supposed to allocate 100% of our time to external execution. Maybe able to really ask, okay, what kind of actions do I need to take to really build my internal world? Because both of them are very important to build, external world and internal world. And if you allocate 100% to build external world, when you leave internal world alone, and I think that you will build your external world by you think that you will build your internal world by getting something outside of you. I think that is a false belief because I truly believe when you actually build your internal world, that will lead to getting more things externally, not vice versa. I think that a lot of times people believe when it will get something externally, it will do something internally, but it's different when you build something internally and build something externally as well. And those things that what I share is common things, but I think that we need to understand that those common things are the things that's stopping us. And I think that sometimes we hear so many times that we forget how important it is to actually look at it. It seems like when we hear something so many times, we become immune in it. It's something when you hear that, it just goes one ear to another. But sometimes being able to sit down on your butt for 30 minutes, 60 minutes, how is for me is one thing is how is that showing up in my life specifically? Not someone else, but in my life. Maybe maybe you're not like 10 of 10. Like, let's say that I'm more fear of failure. Maybe you're not afraid like other people. Maybe you're not like 10 of 10 like fear of failure. Maybe you are like 3 of 10. Maybe 4 of 10, 5 of 10, maybe 2 of 10. So that means there's like glimpses of fear of failure. How I could remove those even glimpses of it. So it means to be able to get better in those and be able to build. So it means that we do not have even glimpses of that. So it means to be able to be better at it. So that means we need to really shift our mindset because when I think that we're able to really work, and every single time when you start thinking about failure, you start to think about opportunities for develop yourself. Because I think that when you first hear that fear of failure, you potentially bring those negative emotions. So when you hear fear of failure, what kind of emotions does it come? Does it come positive emotions or negative? And if sometimes I know, including myself in the past, when I used to fear of failure, immediately I used to have some weird emotions, maybe the negative emotions, sad emotions. But after a while, when you really reframe your mindset about uh, failure, at some point you start to feel that when you feel that fear of failure and failure, that word, it starts to be positive emotions. You think, oh, there, that person failed. That's the person improved. That person get better. That person be more resilient. That person will be developed character. So that means that you're able to start moving from negative associations to positive associations. And I think this is very, very powerful when you think about your internal world, when you start moving from failure and from negative association to positive association. And I think that's when you really move from that 10 of 10 of failure now to potentially be very, very excited about it here again. Number two, I think that is very, very common and every single person has it, is procrastination in different levels. And I think that procrastination is in a lot of, sometimes we don't see the procrastination. Again, this is the levels. Is someone is 10 out of 10 procrastinator, someone is like 3 of 10. And I think that one of the biggest procrastination levels that we do not see a procrastination is that sometimes we give a project 2 months. And because of that, we said, okay, I will finish with 2 months. But I think that sometimes that is a procrastination in the sense that you were able to achieve that result, that goal, in a week or 2 weeks. But because you gave yourself 2 months, you will achieve in 2 months. So that means that you procrastinate to achieve that goal because you think that that's how much you will need time. And probably you've heard the rule that you will achieve a result in the time that you choose to achieve it. So if you chose 2 months, you will achieve in 2 months. And that's sometimes is procrastination in a notch, in a different level, in a different understanding. But sometimes people are very big for procrastination. I think that one of the biggest reasons why people procrastinate, why we procrastinate, is that the goal that we have set for ourselves is too big. So that we can change it out now, that we're able to execute this that action step, that activity is so small that is ridiculous of how not to achieve it. When you have that, when you're not afraid of it, you not feel nervous or excited or anything in between, but you're able to just go and execute. You build a momentum now. You're able to execute something 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, half an hour, 2 hours. So it means I truly believe in incremental improvements regarding procrastination, especially because you're able to develop that and overcome that procrastination because you're able to really see that those wins give you more energy. Number three is negative self-talk. So to be able to really catch yourself seeing that negative self-talk. And I was listening quite a few podcasts. I truly believe that there's every single person has negative self-talk. Unless maybe they are psychopaths or anything, and they might not have, but every single person, 100% people have negative self-talk. Now the only question is how well you manage it. Some people are very good in managing it, reframing, getting different perspective, and using affirmations and moving to a positive side. Some people are not that bad and stay like 90-80% of the time on negative self-talk. I'm not ready. I'm not enough. That's not for me. And I think that being able to really write down all the positive things about yourself and really seeing that you can do this too. Why not you? And I think that this is one of the most beautiful questions is why not you? What? Why? Why not you? I think that when we ask the question and we're able to find that there is no reason why not you. Because I think that's the question that we ask is one time what kind of answer we get. And being able to really learn the right questions will dictate what kind of answers we get to move forward. Number four is a lack of self-discipline. And this is again internal willpower as well. How well you manage the activities that need to be done. And again, self-discipline again is when you look into self-discipline, some people are massively self-disciplined and some people are just barely self-disciplined. It depends on the aspect of life because sometimes people are very disciplined in one area of life and they're very, very undisciplined in another. So that means you understand like, where you at and how you look like because I think that we're able to develop that. But again, one thing that the best thing that to develop that is really making sure that we'll learn how to habit stack. We'll learn how to start small and build on it, incremental improvements towards. and really be very compassionate towards, because if you are not disciplined right now, you're not supposed to be shameful. It's like, oh, you idiot, look into those other people who, how confident, how disciplined they are. Sometimes we don't know where they start, because it's easy to compare our first step to someone else's 100 step. I mean, compare that, we feel like shit. But when you actually compare your own first step with someone else's first step, you start to realize that you start at exactly the same step. Now, the only your choice is to develop that discipline, because if they can do it, you can do it too. If I can do it, you can do it too. Number 5 is imposter syndrome. It means that I think that that's a lot of times we just think that it's not for us. Again, this is imposter syndrome is again one of the things that is part of negative self-talk, not feeling enough. And I think that's when I listen to a lot of successful people, and what I learned that is very very common between so many extraordinary successful people, they still sometimes feel not enough. So that means success didn't allow them to feel more enough. Again, at the end of the day, it was their choice to feel enough. And this is a battle all the time. And I think that we need to do that. We need to really keep that success journal and say that I'm capable, more than capable. Look into all those successes. And of course, we need to start from journaling small wins, because if you're not appreciating small wins, you will not have big ones. That's the truth of life. If you're not appreciating small things, you will not get big things. With money, with relationships, with achievements, with success, with discipline, in everything in life. If you not appreciate small things that you have, you will not get big things. Number 6 is comfort zone mentality. Comfort zone mentality. This is again internal battle. I think that's a lot of times when we want to pursue that goal, we want to pursue with comfort. But if you want to pursue that vision, if you want to achieve that vision, that means that vision will be something that you never did before. But if you never did it before, that means that you will need to stretch yourself. So how are you supposed to be able to achieve your vision without going and doing something that's uncomfortable? Even when you think about it, it doesn't fit in the head. How are you supposed to achieve your vision that you never did before by being in comfort? It's impossible. If you would be able to achieve something with your comfort, you already did it. But you didn't achieve it because the things that you want to achieve is outside of your comfort zone. So I think that when we need to think about comfort zone mentality, we need to understand that perspective is that we'll never get 100% comfort. Never. Never. It will never be that. We'll not have full control of it. And you understand that, then you give away that desire to have that comfort and surrender to that. And you surrender and go into that unknown. So much easier. And I think that sometimes surrendering in that unknown and be comfortable in that unknown, I think that is one of the best comfort zones ever. When you're able to be comfortable with unknown, with uncomfortable. Number 7 is fear of judgment. I think this is one. Fear of judgment, fear of rejection. There's like a lot of fears, because we are part of community. We want to be part of community. Sometimes we don't want to be judged by community because it seems that we'll be alone. It'll be separated. That's a massive fear. I think that's one big thing that's really allowed me to grow myself and improve myself, even though I'm still growing and I feel there's so much room to improve. But really being able to grow me, improve me. Because the more you improve yourself, you start to realize that you enjoy your company, you enjoy where you're going, you appreciate your efforts. At that moment, because you feel complete, the connection that you have with people is so much more engaging, so much more nurturing. Because sometimes when we're looking for other people, we're looking for other people to complete us. Because we not feel that we are enough, we not feel that we are full, but you are full. That connection that you have right now with other person, there's two full individuals are able to speak. It's so much more engaging and joyful and fulfilling. So fear of judgment is coming a lot of times because we still not feel full. So I think that sometimes if we have that fear of judgment, the number of things we need to be is that you understand that other person is focusing on their own life, and then our own aspect is supposed to be focusing on building ourselves. Number 8 is perfectionism. And I think that the biggest mistake with perfectionism is that we'll never achieve that. There's nothing, but perfection, it never exists. It never is the lowest standards of all because perfection doesn't exist. It will never be perfect. So understanding that, we understand that perfection is stopping us from taking action. It's almost like procrastination because you always think, okay, next day will be good enough. Next day will be good enough. Next day will be good enough. And a person who is able to look, I'm looking for sense of perfection. That means that I'm able to release it. And when I release that, my action, my product, I will be able to improve it on the go because I do my best. And I think that the most important part is saying that I do my best and I did my best. And I know that because I did my best, I'm happy where it is right now. I know that my best tomorrow will be better. That's a beautiful thing that I learned from John C. Maxwell, beautiful leader, and he said that today I do my best, but tomorrow my best will be better. And that's when I think that that's the mindset we're supposed to have when we change that perfectionism to doing the best you can today. Number 9 is, and I think this is again very, very important, lack of clarity and direction. And what I found is that most people, including me sometimes, we forget how important it is to sit down, maybe go for a walk in the beach by yourself, in the nature, or maybe at home, in the closet, doesn't matter, where you are alone for 30 minutes without phone, without nothing, and really explore yourself, understand yourself, where you want to go, what kind of problem you have, and what kind of things you want to solve. Because when you're able to really reflect and get the direction, it's so much more easy to go. Because when you think about really standing and you're really still choosing which direction to go, you're standing still. But when you know the direction, this is the direction I'm going, is so much faster, so much better. You're able to move so much faster. I think that a lot of times we stuck because we are moving 5 feet in one direction, 5 in another, and then we're staying all around this the same circle. So lack of clarity and direction is one of the internal things that we're able to fix. A last one, and probably one of the most important things, and so many successful people that I listen to always mention that poor emotional management. So of course, if you want to have success, people who manage their emotions well, they succeed. People who are not able to manage their emotions well, that means that one day they feel great, one other than they feel terrible. And the one big thing is that it might be that you don't feel like doing things. You're still able to do things because you have discipline. Now, that means that poor emotional management, even though that is very, very hard to really do the right things, even with discipline, we can really overcome that. But when you have a really good emotional regulation, it's 10x your potential results because every single day you feel great. Maybe you don't feel great, but you feel good enough to really give your best. Because if you feel terrible and you feel like shit, most time we're not able to give 100% because we don't have energy. Because the most important part on pursuing success is having energy, emotional, mental, physical, cognitive, spiritual energy. So all those energies are in the same level as emotional regulation, because emotional regulation will detract energy of our lives. And because we have less energy, it's much, much harder to pursue that vision that we have set for ourselves. And again, this is emotional regulation, something that we always need to work on. Read books, look into how other people regulate emotions and learn and educate and improve. And again, this is one of the things that we're able to look and count where I am from 1 to 10. I'm like 8 from 10, 7 from 5, and be honest. Accept that I'm terrible right now. I need to improve significantly. I'm like 2 of 10. Okay, then what do I need to do if I'm at 2 of 10? What kind of areas I need to improve the most right now? I think that's the question that we need to ask. Accept where we are, and then create strategy. Because if we don't accept where we are, we'll not really create a good strategy to really get to the next level. So hope you get to reflect as well. What are your internal things that is potentially stopping you? Maybe there's some things in your life that's stepping on that brake and is not allowing you to get the result that you're looking for. So I hope you choose something and see you tomorrow.